with communism. This headline, China organ trafficking trial exposes grisly trade. And throughout this, they try to make it look, kind of sexy. And this guy who was trafficking organs, he's a good guy, actually. He never sold bad organs. And it tells you a Beijing court is prosecuting a man for illegal organ trafficking. Local media reported putting the spotlight on a grisly black market in body parts in a country where the demand for transplants far outstrips supply. And he's a big hero, and he's being prosecuted by the government. But then at the end, they admit, where is the most organ harvesting coming from? Well, from prisons in China. However, the majority of organs from transplant are still where? Harvested from executed criminals, the paper said. Beijing hopes the new system will end both live transplants and taking organs from prisoners, which makes senior officials uncomfortable. And it only makes them uncomfortable when they have to talk about it, because otherwise they're making big profits on the black market. They should be on trial. Executed prisoners are definitely not a proper source for organ transplants, said the Vice Minister Hong Zhifo, telling the China Daily. Yeah, right, but you'll continue to do it. Let's go to Jim in Illinois. Jim, you're online.
Hi, thanks.
You got it.
I've heard recently here about the illegal immigration thing. I live in Chicago, and you guys, I don't know if you've had any calls from people from Chicago or not, but let me just tell you something. It's so bad here where I live that they'll intimidate you until you pretty much move out of the area. Unless you stand up and say, no, I'm not going to have any of that. I'm not going to be the victim, and I'm not going to be the criminal. And recently here, I was listening to two state's policemen and an off-duty judge or off-duty cop, and a judge and a guy from the National Guard talking about you will be processed one way or another. One way, either as a victim, or another way, either is you standing up and saying, no, I won't have any more of this. I totally put my foot down. I'm not going to be the victim anymore. And in that case, when you stand up for your rights and say no, you're a criminal. And they laughed about it. And the thing was that they were all talking about how the state police and the Illinois National Guard here have been working in conjunction with Mayor Daley's office, and that I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is a prediction, and I hope you guys are recording this. Illinois is going to be the first police state in the United States. And how do I know that? Because the judge that was sitting at that bar, at that local establishment, it wasn't a bar, but it was like a drinking, dining establishment, he said that he sees this happening within the next 2.5 years, and probably even before that, within 8 months, was the other guy's, was his...
Jim, I appreciate the call, and we will definitely keep our eye on Illinois. Dalton in Georgia. Dalton, you're online. Let's go to Justin in Colorado. Justin, you're online.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yes, I have a document. This is just following up on your that bus thing you were saying in Colorado.
Yes.
Yes, I got this. There's this notice I got from the school district for my sister. It's saying that every student district in Colorado is required to report to the Colorado Department of Education each year. The federal government recently changed the reporting categories for student data to more accurately reflect the diversity of the country's present population. Under the new system, you will now be asked to indicate both the ethnicity and the racial categories for your children. On this data sheet, it has a couple. There's a new question. I've never seen this on any kind of ethnic question. It's this number one, ethnicity. Are you Hispanic or Latino? Yes or no? And if you're not, indicate which ethnicity you are. Which I'm thinking now is that they want to...
They want to profile everybody. They want to profile areas, man. They want to charge you for it. They want to track, trace, and database you. Once you're in the database, that's when the massive profiling begins. They'll have individual profiles, community profiles, they'll have county profiles, and of course, statewide profiles. And they'll use this profiling information to divide and conquer. That's the idea. While they tax you for it. While they tax you for it, they are going to divide and conquer with your information while they enslave your children before your very eyes. It's the Alex Jones Show. Final segment coming in. I am Jason Burma sitting in, Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv.
Don't answer it. If fear strikes your heart when the phone rings, knowing it may be another bill collector, it's time for you to call Zero Debt in 90 days. 800-477-9256. Settlements, bankruptcy, and attorneys are not the answer and may end up costing you up to 10 times more than necessary. Listen, if you're already in debt, does it make sense to get buried in another payment plan? Zero Debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days guaranteed, without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. Get the fastest relief from debt on the planet when you call 800-477-9256. If you have debt with the IRS, credit cards, student loans, or a foreclosure, we can help at Zero Debt in 90 days, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Or call now for free information. 800-477-9256. That's 800-477-9256.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
The problem.
How do I cook food without power?
How do I light my home with no electricity?
How do I get emergency radio broadcasts?
How can I make safe drinking water?
When your power goes out, the solution for cooking, baking, home lighting, listening to the radio, and producing clean water is the Family Emergency Kit from Karo Stove. Karo Stove has been in business for over 12 years with the largest selection of kerosene stoves and family preparedness supplies in the U.S. Now, get the Family Emergency Kit at KEROstove.com for only $4.29 plus shipping, a savings of nearly $200. It's perfect for off-the-grid living. Call 888-395-1164 today. That's 888-395-1164 and ask about weekly specials or check the specials online each week at KEROstove.com. Again, call 888-395-1164 or go to KEROstove.com. Karo Stove for family emergency solutions.
We are back. It's the final segment of the Alex Jones Show. I am Jason Burma, sitting in for the final hour. Alex coming back up in the rebroadcast in just about 6 minutes. Before I go to some final calls, there were two other stories I really wanted to hit up. We often talk about the elite's search for immortality, and a lot of people will laugh at you and say, oh, Jason, that's just science fiction. Found genes that let you live to 100. This is Times Online. They're calling them the Methuselah genes after the biblical character that lived to be 969. You see, folks, only about 1 person in 10,000 actually lives to be the age of 100. So these centurions have now been examined. They've looked at their genomes, and they found out that they do have certain genes in common in 20 or 30 percentile that do allow them to live these long lives. The genes are ADIPOQ, CETP, and APOC3. Read the article. It's a big one. And the other thing I want to caution people about is they are now promoting cancer vaccines. Yes, cancer vaccines that can kill tumors, and in some cases, they're saying within the next 10 years, will prevent cancer altogether. Be very wary of this. Remember, when they gave out the polio vaccination, folks, they put SV40 in it. That's simian virus 40, which was a live cancer virus, which people sued over after family members died and were maimed and paralyzed and all sorts of other horrific things, and won those lawsuits. So be very cautious as they tell you, oh, we have a vaccine for cancer now. Andrea in Kentucky, you're online. Yes, Andrea.
Hi, bravo on Invisible Empire. What an awesome movie.
Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to say the victory of Rand Paul here in Kentucky, everybody is so hyped up. The local media is already saying how Jack Conway, which is his Democratic opponent, how he's going to have to run a perfect campaign, and he is, because he is up against, you know,
He's up against real liberty, Andrea. He's up against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. He's up against the people, and quite frankly, I don't think he stands a chance. I think it is so exciting that Rand Paul ran away with the primary in Kentucky, and now we have to get him into office. Appreciate the call. Gotta jump. Jim in New York. Jim, you're on the line.
Yes, Jason. My name is Jim. I'm trying to make this concise as possible. You know, I'm listening to this day after day, and I'm saying to myself, what is the central theme, if there is one, that can coalesce our movement, you know? Because they got us running in 40 different directions, you know, whether it's environmental, all this other nonsense. I won't go through it. But I received some letter today. I live in Nassau County, and Capital Improvement Project. And I thought that was, I find these humorous.